Hi guys, welcome to another how to draw video. Today's subject is Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love this character. I love the movie. I am so happy that the entire franchise is still popular today. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to do the shapes of Jack. We're going to start with the circle for his head. It's a very tiny little circle. Speaking of tiny shapes, we'll be doing another tiny rectangle for his neck. His torso is a trapezoid shape. And we will go ahead and work on his arms next. His arms are rectangles, two of them actually, but we're going to do the top part of each arm first. So I'll have them come out. Try to make them about the same shape as the reference image so you guys can see how skinny his arms really are, even with his coat on. So we'll go ahead and do both forearms here. We have those. And then we will add in his palms, which are those tiny, tiny, tiny little circles. And we're going to be adding his fingers. His fingers are very skinny as well. Remember guys, we're drawing a skeleton, so they can be very skinny. I'm drawing them as tiny little rectangles. He has 4 fingers, just like typical cartoon characters do. And we went ahead and did his other hand. So now his legs are just really, really long rectangles. This one is just one rectangle by itself. Then we have another one for his bent leg on the right, one for the top part of the leg, and then one towards the bottom part of the leg. We do his little feet. So now we will go ahead and get into sketching Jack before we do our outlining or line art. So I'll go ahead and start with that. I need to start with a circle just like we did earlier and the tiny little rectangle. Again guys, just a reminder, when you're drawing your characters, don't worry about your drawing looking exactly like the reference image. We're not robots. We're not meant to draw things carbon copy. I know there are jobs in the animation industry or illustration and part of drawing industry, but we need to remember that we have our own style and it's definitely okay for things to not look the same. All right, so now we are onto his giant hand that I just drew. It is a little big. I am definitely going to be fixing that later. Now I'm doing his arm that is pointing towards his hip. And we have his hand that is on his hip, doing his long leg, doing that long rectangle for his left leg, and one leg on the right that is bent. I'm adding a little kneecap here. You can always add joints to remind yourself of things being bent, so the knee, your wrists, the elbow, things like that. So we have the basic shape like we had done, but we just did it freehand. So now I'm going to add in the details such as his eyes, his mouth, and then we're going to go into drawing his clothes. So I am adding in his little bat bow tie. I actually didn't really pay attention to this detail before, and I think it's a really cool design that they added onto Jack's character. A lot of the characters have really nice designs. They're very unique, but I think Jack is one of the ones I like, I would say the best. Probably my next one is probably the mayor or the 3 kids, which I cannot remember their names. I think it's Lock, Stock, and Barrel, I believe. But someone could fix that or correct me in the comments if they'd like. So we got everything here. We're doing his jacket. So we have the base of his jacket, which is not all the way down his torso. It's pretty high up on his body, because as you can see, his pants kind of go up into that jacket. So his pants aren't low on his hips. They go up into that jacket. So I'm adding a little bit of the pinstripes. I like to kind of see a little bit of detail even when I'm doing my sketches, to just give myself an idea of what my character is looking like. You don't have to do this. You could just leave it the basic shapes of the character and fill in these details later. But I think it's just something I've always liked to do, because sometimes I like to just do sketches and those are my final drawing sometimes, but in this case it will not be, but I just want to show you guys what I do. So now I'm doing the pinstriping down his pant leg. Again, it starts at the base of that jacket at the very top, comes down. These pinstripes are very messy. Don't worry about your pinstripes being perfect on this, especially since we're doing a sketch right now. When we do line art, you can focus a little more on them, making them even and things like that. In this drawing today, I'm not going to be doing that. I am going to just do them very quickly so I can show you guys the final product. So don't worry about it being absolutely perfect, because again, I would say no art is absolutely perfect. No artist is. We're all works in progress, to be a little punny. All right, so now we have our sketch. So we're going to go ahead and begin doing our line art. I'm going to just go ahead and start with his eyes. Little circles again. Oops, going to fix these a little bit. There we go. Little nicer circles. And just for the sake of time, guys, I am going to be speeding this video up a little bit so we can see the final product a bit quicker. You are more than welcome to slow down the video and watch this in real time if you'd like. It's not much longer than the sped up, probably about another 8 minutes, but it just kind of depends on what time you have. I wish I could draw this fast. As you guys can see, the speeding up has already happened. I am just doing this again just so we can get to the final product and you guys can see what your Jack will look like when you're done. So I've already done kind of the base of his body again. I typically start with the basic shapes on the outside, go into the details on the inside. And I had forgotten to put his coattails on earlier, so I'm slowing that down a little bit so you guys can see that little bit of his shape sticking out, and doing his leg. But now we're going to jump back into lightning speed line work. So going back to that, we're going to go ahead and do the leg here. It's very quick. Grab all those shapes, do those, make them a little nicer. Going to go ahead and fill in some of this black here. So go ahead and do that. Just filling in little details here and there, things I want to fix or add. You can always make more details on your Jack if you'd like. You can give him accessories. You can give him things that he doesn't have in his typical outfit. That's totally okay. But we want to just keep Jack, the basic shape of him as he is for the most part, so we know you can recognize the character. So I'm adding all the pinstriping in that I did here. I'm giving the coattails a black or a solid black coloring because it is the back, so we're giving that a shadow. So now we have the almost done product. I am going to go ahead and give it a little more line work, fill in more pinstriping because his pinstripes are very, very thin on his character. Again, they're not perfect pinstripes. Don't go ahead and zoom in on this and make sure all my lines are straight, because they will not be. But I'm just adding this so you guys can see and get a general sense of what it will look like. So we're all done with Jack, so here he is. But wait, there's more. What would Jack be without his trusty dog sidekick here, Zero? I'm just going to do a very quick Zero. He's also a little sped up, just so we can get him in the picture here as quickly as possible. I'm having a little trouble with his mouth. I think Zero's gonna just have his mouth shut for this one. It looks I'm struggling a little bit making this mouth today, but that's okay. We don't always have to make everything perfect. All right, so this is our final product of Jack Skellington, and a little guest appearance here by 0. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more videos, and I will hopefully see you guys soon. Thanks again. Bye.